Okay, a very good morning, colleagues, and thank you for joining us for this workshop. As you know, this is a critical part of the year where we are starting with the exams preparation. And as you prepare for the exams, one of our critical aspects that we will look at is the digital competencies that are needed as you go in exams. So we're going to really focus on, in the next hour, 15 minutes or so, on the critical skills that you need. We're going to look at how do you access some of the portal where the student skills are, what is academic integrity, what is proctoring tools that you're critical for the examination, how do you access the exam portals that you and prepare yourself, and also we will then field some of the critical questions from the chat. So post your questions in the chat and we will also respond to that as well. And in the meantime, we will look at how we some of the critical elements that we will focus on today, as you can see in the program. At this time, it's my pleasure to invite each one of you to the session, also on behalf of the Vice Principal and the Executive Director of DTSFL. Thank you for joining us, and we wish you all the best. We have faith that you can push through, and we know that you will succeed at this point. So at this time, I'm going to hand over officially to my colleagues. We have with us Richard Wright, David Appelstad, Ms. Lindiwe Mashlangu, Ms. Sami Natma as well, who will be facilitating the day with us today. So thank you, colleagues, and we wish you all the best. Please remember to post your comments as well. Thanks, Richard.
Thank you, Denzel. Good morning, everyone. So as you can see, we've got quite a session packed for today. I already saw some questions in the chat regarding, when the timetable is available. We will show you later where to access the timetable. Just note, currently only supplementary exams are occurring for year modules. So if you're using a semester module, you will be writing in May, June. So just remember that distinction between the two. And if we have anybody that's also, how can I say, eligible for FI concessions, that communication will start going out within the next 2 weeks. There's not a set time for when they do the examinations, so please check your emails regularly for the information on when you can write those FI concession exams. And then lastly, I've put in the chat the link. Please complete the pre-course assessment. This really helps us to gain your understanding before the session. We'll do a post-course assessment at the end, so you can actually see where you gain the knowledge and the information. And that will also help us to see if there's any gaps where we need to focus on in the future. So you can scan the QR code or click on the link within the chat. We will post it again as well. And then I will also post a link if you are having any difficulties with Microsoft Teams, maybe you're losing audio or video. We are also streaming live to YouTube. So the link is in the chat. So you can click on there if you want to, if you have any difficulties with video or audio. But for now, the first thing to get started with is accessing the support material. And this is on the MyStudentSkills hub. It's the ADOVH.unisa.ac.za. And for this, I will hand over to my colleague Lindiwe that will guide you through how to access the material, what is available there, especially, focus on the support material and for students with special needs. But for now, I'll hand over to Lindiwe. Thank you.
Good morning, student. Thank you, Richard. My name is Lindiwe. I'll be helping you today with accessing, I'll be assisting you with demonstrating to you accessing and navigating the MyStudentSkills hub to access the basic skills for online exams. On what I've displayed on the screen is you can use this URL displayed to or scan the QR code, and that will land you on the page to access my exam guide. The other way simpler that you can use is you log in, you go to, that's what I'm going to demonstrate to you. You go to your browser, you type in Unisa, ADOVH, and you click enter. The first landing page, you are going to click on it, and then that's where you will see all the courses that are available on my MyStudentSkills Hub. These are all courses that are available, and they are all free, students. So today we are only going to be concentrating on get ready for your exam, basic skills, online exams. You can click here to practice. And when you are here, for you to access this site, you need to log in. It is very important that you log in using your MyLife account. As a student, this will pop out, and then you click yes, because you are already going to write your exam and you are a Unisa student. So you will see this one, and then you click on it again, and then it will open. You will have to log in, and then it will open. As I am a staff, I'm already logged in and I'm already on the site. So here you will find the activities. You will see a welcome note from our ED announcement. This is very important. This is where you will see all the announcement, your upcoming, all your upcoming seminars, like this one that we are attending today. All the sessions, the course, the data side, it has 7 lessons. So you go through them, all of them, and then you will, there's a webinar recordings like today. This session is recorded, downloadable guidelines. If you open this one, there are guidelines on the site, downloadable guidelines for today's of all these 7 sessions. And it is simple for it is made simple for you to download them and read them at a later stage or on your own without using any data. There are frequently asked questions. And then the other thing that I'll be showing you again today is how to, excuse me a little bit, it is finding support. During your exams, it is very critical that you, as a student, you have access to the contact details, to the exam contact details, so that it will be easier for you to navigate through. If you encounter any problems as a student, you find support very quickly. So this is the information. This is where you go. You go to my Unisa, and then you go here. And those are the contact details that you can use for you to communicate or to report any queries that you may have during your exams. And then for regional services center, these are all the regions that are available at all in South Africa and including Ethiopia. You can visit the regions, or you can click anywhere here, and then it will give you the contact details, and you can use those details to communicate with the regional centers that is closest to you and you can visit. For student support, contact details, this is the number that you can call for call center, and you select option 4. And then for the email address, for all the general queries that you may have, for my module support, exam queries, this is the email address that you may use as a student. Please do not contact ADOVH. And then for students with special needs, this is the contact details that can be used for you if you need support to apply for special exams. Thank you from me. I'll be handing over to Ms. Nathma Semi to assist to go through with you the academic integrity. Thank you. Over to you, Ms. Nathma.
Thank you so much, Lindiwe. I think we all learned so much from that, and it can really assist us. But I'm sure everyone is wondering, why do we have to use these proctoring tools that David and Richard are going to introduce to us? Why is it important for us? Why is it important for the university? And why is it important for our broader studies? So I'm going to be speaking a little bit about academic integrity. Firstly, we're going to go through the values at Unisa. So at Unisa, we're obviously here to become educated, but we also have to have a degree of honesty, trust, respect, and we also have to engage in fair behavior and academic responsibility when we are engaging in our studies. We also have to demonstrate courage. So what does this mean? This means that when we're studying, we want to ensure that when we get our qualification is a true reflection of our actual abilities and our skills. We have to also put ourselves in the shoes of other people. So if we think of when we go to the doctor, we want to know that the doctor's qualification is of a very high degree before we allow them to treat us. And it goes for the same with all of our qualifications as well. We want to make sure that our qualifications meet those standards so that we can provide the best services after we qualify as students that then become professionals. So we ask ourselves, what is academic dishonesty, right? And what are we trying to avoid when we're gaining our qualifications through these proctoring tools? It can be anything from plagiarism, it can be cheating, it can be collusion when we're kind of working with other people. Sometimes we'll have maybe a friend ask us to assist during an exam, and we'll feel sorry for them. But in that situation, we need to remember that academic dishonesty is what we will actually be engaging in, and we will actually be dishonoring our own qualification as well as that individual's qualification as well. We also don't want to fabricate information. We don't want to give information that's not correct, and we don't want to be responsible or engaged in any behavior that can make our qualification less valuable once we qualify in the end. So when it comes to academic dishonesty, these are the things that we want to avoid, and we want to use these proctoring tools to help us to avoid it as students. We also want to have evidence that when we have our qualification indicates to the rest of the world that we haven't engaged in these activities when we attained it. So when we think of, let's say, plagiarism, when we think of all these other things that constitute academic dishonesty, sometimes the words are really big, but when it comes to real life situations, it can be something really simplistic, like students copying paragraphs without citations. That would be a scenario that would then highlight that you're engaging in academic dishonesty. It could be students falsifying data for their research. So a student running out of time and thinking that perhaps this information is true, but not having actual information to back it up and then using it. It could also be something like somebody, like I previously mentioned, messaging you and asking you for help. And in that situation, you are in a position to make an honest decision and prevent yourself and that individual from engaging in illicit activities. So in these situations, whenever you find yourself in these situations, you need to ask yourself the question, am I engaging in something that's dishonest? And if I'm engaging in something that's dishonest, is it going to impact my studies and my qualification negatively in the short run and in the long term? So we also need to be aware that if we do engage in academic dishonesty, it's going to have severe consequences on our reputation and also the university's reputation. So if you get caught, for example, for, let's say, cheating in an examination, you can fail that module. And I think a lot of students, when we try to understand why have they cheated in an examination, they will say something, they didn't have enough time to prepare, or they were afraid that if they just tried, they would fail because they didn't have time to study, or they didn't study the information prior. But the problem is that if you engage in academic dishonesty, you will still fail the module and you will face other additional punishments as well, which you want to avoid. Things like suspension that will permanently affect your record at the university and at other universities. It will also, or could in the most severe cases, lead to criminal records, which will impact your ability to obtain a job later on, which you really want to avoid. So when we have these proctoring tools that we're going to be using, they really protect us, and they also remind us of all the negative things that can happen if we do engage in academic dishonesty. When it comes to the university itself, if you are caught cheating in the examinations, and the proctoring tools, they are highly developed and they are improving, they are likely to pick it up. There's going to be things that follow after that. There's going to be investigations. Your marks are going to be withheld, so you won't be able to progress further with your studies. You will be allowed to contest it or accept it, because there are situations where a student hasn't cheated, but perhaps an irregularity has been picked up. And as with all cases, everyone's side has to be heard, so that opportunity will be provided. You'll then have to have a hearing, so you can think of an act. It's something like, if you want to envision it, like a court case in which you can then you have to plead, let's say, that you're not guilty or you're guilty, and then we'll see what would be the results or the outcomes. But if you can see this situation, you can see that it's quite a negative environment and situation you'll place yourself in if you engage in academic dishonesty, and it's better to avoid it. So what can you do, right? When it comes to your academic integrity and how you can protect your own academic integrity and the academic integrity of the university, start off with studying something you love and really engaging with the material. Academic integrity doesn't start on the day you're writing your exam, but it's basically planning ahead to ensure that you feel prepared for that examination, practicing your skills. If you feel incredibly overwhelmed, and this happens with all of us, I'm a student myself, try to seek help. Go to the counseling services at Unisa, which they will also assist you, and they can provide you with study methods or anything else that you're requesting help for. They will try to assist, or at least indicate who you can contact for assistance. But most importantly, plan ahead, prepare yourself, try to do your best in an examination, and understand that you will have another opportunity if, for example, something like if you do not do your best the first round of an examination, you can still rewrite the examination. But if you decide that you're afraid you're not going to do your best, and then you engage in academic dishonesty, there's going to be a long chain of actions that you then have to go through in order to undo what has been done. So we want to avoid that. Also, when it comes to academic integrity, remember it belongs to us all, right? So if you do see that someone is engaging in something that's incorrect, try to report it. And the reason why we're encouraging students to do that is because if a large amount of people engage in dishonest behavior, it's going to impact your qualification, but it will also impact the larger institution. We want the institution, or the institution's goals is to have high academic integrity, which starts with every individual and then the institution as a whole too. So if you do see something, please report it to the Unisa hotline, which is on the screen. And always remember that when it comes to the examinations, when it comes to submissions of assignments, rather try your best. And then from there, work on improving, but try to avoid all the negative things which can lead to negative consequences thereafter. That's all from me. I'm going to hand over to my colleagues who will be introducing you to the proctoring tools that will really assist you and remind you to maintain academic integrity while completing your studies. Thank you.
All right, good morning, everyone. I'm David Hopstead. I'm carrying on now from where Nathma left. So guys, I'm just going to share my screen quickly. So we are now going to move on to the next section. So got some very important information for you guys. Whoops, my slides just jumped a little bit. All right, there we go. So now we're going to start looking at the proctoring tools, because I see a lot of you guys are asking about the dates. And then the next question is, okay, once you have the data, which proctoring tool do I need to use? Okay, so very importantly, guys, please make sure that on my modules, you have a profile pic, and I'm going to show you some pictures there quickly of how that all works, and also the exam proctoring lookup tool and why is it so important. Okay, so the first thing, guys, your profile photo. So just remember, Lindiwe did share with you the course site where all the steps and all the resources are there already. So we're just going to refer to that site. So please go and check the detailed steps to follow. So with your profile picture, guys, it's only on myUnisa. So that's very, very important. It's only on myUnisa, so don't worry about myExams if you don't see your profile picture there. That is perfectly normal. So all you're going to do in myUnisa, you're going to go to your profile. So I shouldn't have a picture at the minute. You go to profile, and then you'll see it'll open up, and then you'll see there's an edit button. You will select your profile pic that you want to use. All right, so if you are struggling with the landscape or the portrait, please just use one of the cropping tools to change the layout for you. Okay, so you can just do a quick Google search. That's easy enough to find out. And then once you've uploaded the picture, immediately you should be able to see your picture appearing there in your profile. So that's very quick to do. As I said, the steps are on the course page, so you can always refer to those. So please make sure you do this because it is required with some of the proctoring tools. Now, which proctoring tool can I use? Again, on the course site, we've got 2 links to this, so it's visible for you. All you're going to do is type in your module code, and then you'll actually see how it actually unfolds. So it's actually very easy to do, but also do consult with your timetable and your lecturer as well, because they do tell you which tool you're going to need to use. So that's also very, very important. But before we delve into this, the proctoring tools themselves, there are 3 different options that you're going to see on your exam timetable, right? The first one being multiple choice. Okay, so that's easy. Then you've got your take-home exams, which is basically like your assignments, the written ones that you type up or you write out. And then, of course, the third option is the module arrangement. Now, that one is specifically for those modules where you need to submit a portfolio, or it's continuous assessment, so there is no exam for it. So that's whenever you see that, just please go back to your module, go read the instructions, go read the announcements, and see what the lecturer is actually telling you on that one. So that's actually very, very important to remember. So those are the basically 3 that you're going to see. Now, proctoring tools, very important. There are 3 different types, and myself and Richard, we're going to go through each one of these, and we are going to explain how they work and how you can go and practice them, which is the most important thing you're going to be able to do, hopefully from today. So we've got Moodle proctoring, guys, which is only for multiple choice questions, exams, and it's built into your web browser. So that's the nice thing with that one. Then we've got the Invigilation app, all right, which is for your take-home exams, your written exams, and that you're going to need to install, but we will show you that in detail coming up. And then the third option is the Iris Invigilation. Now that one's only for CSET and CTA, so please take note, it's only for those guys, so it's not for everybody. Remember, you're only going to have one type of proctoring tool for your exam. You will never use more than one for any given exam. So it's only one for exams, and you must please practice it before you get to the exam. Now with Iris, it's a little bit different because it's an add-on to your browser, and Richard is going to show you guys how that one works. But before we even get to the proctoring tools, it's actually very important to understand, okay, what devices do I have and what shape or condition do they need to be in? Because that's kind of important, because that's your gateway to the exam in a sense. So when it comes to your smartphone, guys, please make sure it's not older than 5 years, because the technology develops so fast and it'll give you the best experience, all right, if your phone is up to date or a little bit closer to being the latest versions. It's just the way technology is, okay? The operating system, please make sure it's updated. So I know some of these are quite big in data terms, and if you're trying to keep an eye on your data, maybe go visit one of the campuses that's closest to you go see the staff there. And of course, you've got free Wi-Fi, so you can actually update all your devices there for free. Access to the internet is critical because we're doing online exams. Also check the space for your proctoring apps. That's also very important because I know, guys, you love your photos, your selfies, the videos. So yes, you might need to delete some of those to make sure you've got enough space to install in, for example, the Invigilating app, if in case you need it. So always keep an eye on the space side of things. You've got to make sure your camera's working, your microphone working, and the sound, the volume is working quite well. So that's the general things you can quickly check way before an exam period. If you do have problems, then at least you do have time to maybe borrow someone else's device, but then to go and practice all the practical things that we're still going to show you today. Then if you do have a desktop or a laptop, that's kind of the ideal scenario because it's just a little bit easier to work with, a bigger screen. Make sure it's Windows 10, although mostly now the devices are on Windows 11, but if you do have 10, it still can work fine. You will need access to the internet. So yes, so hopefully you can just make sure your desktop, because I know they generally run with the cables, although you do have little USB Wi-Fi adapters that you can plug and play, and that's actually a nice way to get internet connectivity there. You do have access to Microsoft Office, guys, so that's part of your MyLife email. So if you just log into office.com using your MyLife details, you can actually go and install Microsoft 365. And again, the colleagues on campuses can also help you if you need assistance. Preferably use Chrome or Edge. Those two browsers tend to be the most stable for the proctoring tools. That's our experience, so just take note of those. And then, of course, just like with your phone, you're going to need to make sure you've got a camera or webcam that's working, your microphone's working. Please, not the headset, the gaming ones, guys. You can't use that microphone, all right? And then sound and Wi-Fi. So yeah, so those are the options that you've got there. Right, great. Now we can continue with the actual proctoring tools. So here we go. So Moodle proctoring. This is kind of the easier one because it's not much for you to do, except that you do need to enable your web browser to allow the camera. And I'm going to show you how that works. So MCQ, guys, multiple choice questions, just like you did in the semester. You might have actually had the proctoring embedded already in some of the assignments. I have seen that as becoming a norm. Basically, all it does, it takes a picture of you, and of course, your device needs to have a camera. So you can't start the test or exam if your camera is not activated. So that's the first thing you're going to need to make sure. And that's why we want you to do the demo exams. So how does this work? So let me quickly show you. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the same website that Indiwe showed you right in the beginning. So if you did miss it, we will share the link in the chat for you. So all the information that's already been covered, guys, so please go see each of the pages here. So just don't worry if you've missed something. It's all sitting here waiting for you, including the recordings. So I'm going to go straight down to proctoring over here in lesson 3. And there we go. Right, so it's basically just going to have a page, right? So when you get to your exam, you're going to basically log into the MyExams portal. You'll see the link will be there, or this icon will be there, and the date and the time will be available for you to access it. That's very important. Once it's available, you'll click on it. You'll see it will pop up a message saying, okay, how long the exam is going to be. Great, the usual stuff. And then you'll see there will be some sort of pop-up that's going to say to you, can the web page use your camera now for this process that you're following? And you have to allow it, guys. If you block it, you're going to have to unblock it. Otherwise, it isn't going to work and you can't start your exam. So you click on allow. You'll see the attempt quiz button will be there. You'll click on it and immediately your camera is going to pop up. All right, so you should see yourself. This guy's very happy. I guess he's enjoying his exams. And then what you need to do is you need to tick this little block and then you're going to click on start. And that's it. And then the system's going to open up. Yes.
I'm so sorry I'm disturbing you. We can't see your screen.
Oh no, which point did it go off?
Just when you started the section.
Yeah, let me reshare. Okay, there we go.
Yes, all good.
There we go.
All right, great. Okay, so guys, I hope you caught some of what I was saying. All right, so just remember to go back to the course site. As I said, there are all the lessons and the pages with the information. So work through all of this. So as I was saying, so with Moodle proctoring, you're going to go to the MyExams portal. You'll be able to see the icon. Once you start the exam, you click on it and it allows you to access it. You'll see the message appearing. Once you try to click on it, it's immediately going to want to access your camera. It's built that way. You're going to have to say allow. But do go block it, go practice blocking it and unblocking it, because that will also be a good skill for you to know. Then once you click on allow, you'll see there's an attempt button that comes activated, and then you'll see yourself popping up there. So immediately you will see yourself. Then the start button won't be available, but then just tick on the little block over there and then click on start attempt. Then, all right, and then you'll see the system will pick you up. So this usually is on the right-hand side, but although with your smartphone, you might find there's a little option that you click on, then it will show you your camera, what it's doing. But again, go play around with those type of thing. We do have the video, as I said, so you can just watch through the video to see how it's all set up if you want to go that route. So either way, up to you, not a problem. Once you've worked through this, guys, and you know that you need to use Moodle proctoring, then you're going to come down to this little guy here and you're going to click on it. In other words, now I'm going to go and practice what I've been saying. So what will happen is it's going to open the little STU201. So it's a little extra site within the platform, and you might need to click on the Enroll Me button just once to have access, okay? And then you can go and practice this like 10 times. So you'll see there is the page. You will only be able to see this one. You'll click on it. And then immediately, because the exam is built into the page, just like you're going to experience, you're going to see the camera is immediately going to want to activate over there. So in my case, if I click on it, you'll see there's the camera option. So do go play around and see if I, for example, switch off the camera, reset the permission, reset the page, and then you see it's going to pop up. Okay, you can. My camera's quite dark because the curtain behind me is actually open. I look very scary. That's a little bit better. So immediately you're going to see it's going to pop up like this, guys. So it depends on how updated your browser is. Okay? So make sure it's up to date. What you can do is rather just say every time I access the site, so it will actually remember when you go to this site, the camera will activate for you. So there we go. Right, then I'm just going to scroll down. Okay, so you'll read all the instructions. You'll see we have got the guides in here as well, the step-by-step guides. So also you can check those out, have a look at them. Remember, this is your practice site. This is where you go practice these things. And then I'm going to say preview my quiz. And immediately you see there goes the camera. It's popping up. I just need to tick it over here because there you'll see the start button. So just take note of this little guy here. And then you can say start your attempt, and there we go. And then you can go basically do what you've done with your assignments as well, because this interface pretty much will look the same. And there, just at the bottom over here, you'll see my camera's just hidden at the bottom over here. Okay, the page is kind of hanging now. I've got too many things running. All right, so that's basically how the Moodle proctoring is. So guys, just go to the website, work through the materials. It's sitting over there. Everything we've showed you is there, so it's just a matter of going to practice it over there. Right, so let's continue. So with Moodle proctoring, there you've seen it, not too difficult, although my camera's actually still on. So let me quickly just switch it off because the light is shining in my eyes. This little guy's always in the way. Okay, thank you. Right, there we go. So Moodle proctoring, guys, as you can see, it's just a matter of having your device that's working and then to allow the system to access it there. All right, great. Then let's move on. The other option is, depending on your exam, the Invigilating app. Now, this one's different. Why? Because you need to install it on your smart device. Now, a question that comes up is, if I've got a laptop and a smartphone, can I use it that way? Yes, definitely. Remember, the Invigilating app you're going to download, and it's only on your smartphone. So you must make sure it runs the whole time during your exam. You can switch off you can go to flight mode if you need to during your exam so that nobody interrupts you. That's also fine. Or you can just block the calls. That's also fine. But please make sure this app is not closed. It's very important. It's going to prompt you to take pictures every now and then. And there are 2 different uploads that you need to do, and this is very, very important. With the Invigilating app, you're going to take pictures of your script, which is going to be uploaded on the Invigilating app. So it has its own process. Then your answer script, you're also going to need to upload that onto the MyExams portal. So there's 2 different places you need to upload. So guys, go and practice this, understand this very clearly. So when you if you need to use this tool, you know exactly what you need to do. It's very, very important. The WhatsApp line, guys, there is a WhatsApp number. We'll post it in the chat for you. This is only for messaging, so you cannot call it. It's only for messages. So if you've got any technical problems that pop up, please contact these guys immediately and make sure that you've got access. Just also another thing, this app, or the license, is only given to you about 72 hours or roundabout, no later than 72 hours before your exam. So if you're going to be using this tool, let's say in the end of the month, it might be too soon if you haven't received the license yet. So for that case, just work through the material because you'll have a good understanding how it works. And I think you can still sign up for the demo as well, which can also definitely work. So you can just use your personal email there. How do I download it, guys? Okay, the resources are on the site. We give you the links there so you can actually download the tool, but take note of the icon. That's very important because there are other apps also called invigilating apps, which is not the correct one. So make sure you download the one that's got the L with the glasses. That's very, very important. Okay, so make sure that you go check the app stores. They're all different ones, and you should be able to find it there. Just remember, you have that technical support. All right, so writing your exam, 2 devices, definitely you can. So you can use your laptop, your PC, your tablet to write the exam, and then the Invigilating app can just simply sit on your smartphone. If you only have a smartphone, that's pretty much normal, most students, then you can use the in-app browser on the app itself. So that's why it's very important to go do the demo. They give you a demo, you can do it many, many times. How does it work? Okay, so register as a student on an app at least 72 hours before your first exam, because that's when the license will be issued to you, no later. So you at least have that 72 hours to go and practice. If it still gives you an error message, first and foremost, make sure that you do need to use the app. And if it is there, then please use the contact numbers for the technical team and ask them to help you get the app working. So then go through the steps. We're going to show you all the steps and then test the experience and go do it and play around with it. As I said, you got a demo. There's nothing stopping you from doing it as many times as you want. Great, so here we go. So this is how the app works. So once you've installed it on your device, on your smartphone, you can click on it. It'll open something like this. Then you'll say, well, I don't have an account. So you're going to fill in all your details. Please select Unisa. Put in your student number, put in your details. Please use your MyLife email account over here and confirm your MyLife email. That's critically important. Then once you click on the button, it's then going to want to get a verification PIN. So they'll send it to your phone or your email address, and you simply type it in, click on verify, and then we're in. So you should get something like this. This is an example of the email, and there's the code, for example. So it's your student number at MyLife, and there's the PIN that you needed to type in. So that's basically how it would look. Once you put it in, it's going to give you all the usuals, the do's and don'ts, okay, and how the app works. So you're going to need to accept, and then it's going to say, welcome to the Invigilating app. Then immediately it's going to say, well, I need to access your microphone and your sound. So you're going to have to allow the app to do that. But remember, the app will only use it when you're actually using the app. Otherwise, it doesn't use these devices or components of your device. Then it says getting started. So what's going to happen then? We are going to run through a quick setup. So it's a very quick setup that it does just to check your device, to make sure it's working perfectly. So the first one, selfie check. So you're going to take a picture of yourself, and then it even says attention, all right? So it'll pop up, and then you'll see this nice little white line popping out, and you'll see there's my colleague's face, although we hit it. So yeah, then you put your face in there, and then you'll hit the button to take the pic. So that's just a way to test your front side camera. Then your descriptive photo, that's the next thing it's going to do. For example, here we used, Richard used his student card. So there we go. and then we just take a picture there as well. So you're just going to follow the steps as it tells you what to do. So just have a card or your ID book just to take a picture, because remember, you're testing the device. So then you click on it, then you can say start. The next one is scan your document. So I have a document. Yeah, we've got A4, nice one. So you'll see when you put your phone over the document, so it takes a bit of practice, then you'll see it lines up the document like that. So it will try and automatically help you with the guidance thereof. Great stuff. Then it checks the microphone. So what happens here is you'll see there's a test sound that comes through. It's quite a loud ping. So you can change your volume just to make sure it's not too loud. And then, of course, you must just be able to hear it. So yes and no, it's quite easy. And click test sound if you just wanted to play again. But it has to pass it. It has to pass the setup. Then it's going to want to do a master photo. Now, this is not the selfie that you did before. This one is quite important. The master photo is the one that the app is going to keep, and it's the one it's going to use against the myUnisa. Yeah, that portal over there. So it's going to be able to see if this is you. So that's why it's very, very important to make sure your selfie photo is you. Don't worry about makeup and all those things, guys. Keep it nice and simple. Just put your face inside the little block or face area and then take the master selfie. If for whatever reason it's a mess, it doesn't come out well, you can redo it. But if you've submitted it and it didn't come out well, then just contact the technical support and they will help you so that you can redo the process. Okay, so that's very important. Then up to this point, now you've just set up the device. It's done all the tests to make sure your device is working correctly. Then you can actually start the invigilation. Now you'll notice there's a QR code that pops up and we're going to explain how this works. So once you start, there's two different options that you've got. Okay, so you can either scan the QR code like the example over here, or you can simply enter the start code, which is here at the bottom. So you will receive this code, and you please check your My Life emails and on the announcements. The lectures will guide you exactly when you will get the code and things like that. So please just check it. So once you've got the code, then you can enter it and then it will continue. Now on our practice site, we've got this for you. So part of your demo, so you can go practice it as many times as you want. So it's there on the page. But yeah, with your exam, they will send it to you. So you just have to keep checking. What will happen then is it will confirm if this is you, all right? If this is you and you are writing the assessment. So you kind of have to say yes, because this is part of what Nathmo is saying, the integrity of the exam process. Then it says your assessment is about to start. You can again test the sound just to make sure the volume is not too loud, because you might be staying with other people. But it's good that they know that you're writing an exam. And then, of course, you can click start. Then it basically explains about the scripts. So this is also a very nice opportunity for you to practice. In other words, if I'm taking pictures of written on my desk, or if I need to take pictures of the screen, how quickly can you do that? So it's kind of important. I'm going to show you that in a few minutes. Please don't leave the app. That's very, very important. So more than 10 minutes, it's a problem. It will be flagged, and most likely it's going to be an audit one, that one. So it's very important that you do not leave the app. So make sure your phone settings doesn't close the app, and make sure that it doesn't lock the screen that it closes the app, So that's also important, but you've got time now to just check with your device to make sure it's going to run perfectly. Okay, so what will happen is when you take pictures, and I'm going to show you, they are actually going to appear here in this little block over here. So how does it work? Let me show you quickly. So for example, here it says, okay, attention, let's take a picture of your ID or student card, for example. There's the picture. I take the picture, and then it says do a selfie, right? Then I do a selfie as well. Now remember, with the demo, it's only 8 minutes, so it's going to do these things fairly quickly. In your actual exam, obviously, it's not going to bother you this much, this frequently. So yeah, so just take note of that. So for the demo, it's just for you to get used to the process. Great, take a selfie, take that, and this is how you'll see the pictures will stop popping up over here. So that is basically very important. Then you can upload your script, and before you start, and then it basically just tells you, make sure that your camera is clear, there's no blurry images, then you click on OK. So for example, here we go. Now this is a script. This is the one I said you must go and practice. So you put it on the paper or your screen, and you take pictures and quickly see how quickly you can do it. So do 8 or 9 and see how long did it take you to do. Because the more you do it, you'll see it gets a little bit easier every time. Then once you're done, you can upload your PDF. Now that was the one upload that we were talking about. Then if you confirm, you say yes, upload, and of course then the reference. So just do a screen grab of this as well, just as some of your evidence that you've completed the task. So then go back to the dashboard. So you'll see here, for example, here's the email, there's the PDF, and I see that this is a nice way of actually uploading it onto the MyExam platform. So remember, very important, MyExams, you must upload your answer there as well. So it's 2 different uploads. On the app that it's done, and then thereafter on your MyExams portal itself. So there's all the 2 over there. A very common question is the steps and the time. So please go and make sure you read your exam rules and the instructions from the lecture. Before your exam, 15 minutes, the exam opens, you can download your paper, you can start the Invigilating app. The QR code should be there as well. Then 30 minutes after, the system then closes, then means you're too late. So if you finish before the due time, submit on MyExams and then start uploading on the Invigilating app. Okay, remember 2 different things you need to do. After exam, you've got 10 minutes, all right, to upload on the Invigilating app, and of course you've got 30 minutes to do the upload on MyExam. So please take note, this time here, guys, is not for you to do the answering of the questions. At this point, you must just focus on the uploading element. So it's critically important. So make sure you work through this. It is on our site as well. Technical support, there is the number again. Remember, you can't phone it. It's only for WhatsApp messages. Right, now I'm going to hand over to Richard. So please, guys, go practice it. Over to you, Richard.
Thank you, David. Let me just quickly prepare my screen before I share. Okay, students, so we're going to start off now with the Invigilator app. Now, very importantly, the Invigilator app, the Iris Invigilation. So Iris Invigilation is only for the College of Science, Engineering and Technology. So for anybody that's in a different college, say you College of Human Sciences or Accounting Sciences, you will not be using this app. So this one is specifically for CSET, and they use this for both types of assessments. So whether you've got the MCQ quiz or you've got a take-home exam, this is the tool that you will be using with the College of Science, Engineering, Technology. Just also make sure to always check with the Proctoring lookup tool with all your modules, because it might be that you are going to have one of your modules within the College of Science, Engineering, Technology, but generally you won't need to worry if you're just doing an official degree within a different college. Now, Iris Invigilation works a bit differently from the other 2. As you now saw with Moodle, you don't need to install anything. You just actually activate your camera on the device you will be using, and it can be on a mobile or laptop. With Invigilator app, you actually have the app running on your phone while you might be typing on your laptop. Now, Iris works as a plugin for a browser, specifically for a laptop or desktop. And this actually records your screen, it records your video camera, and then also the sound within the room that you're writing. So this is the most comprehensive invigilation that's taking place within the university. So I'll ask colleagues just to post a link as well to this page, Iris Invigilation. Now, I always suggest to go to the official Iris website. We've got the link on here. And this just makes it very easy, to get the instructions on how to set this up. They've got instructions for that's always updated for Windows and Mac computers. They also have a very helpful support at the bottom where you can easily search for if you have any problems. They will update this with the latest information, so that you just know you've always got the latest information. Now, as you can see here, this is a plugin for the browser, and the browsers that are supported are Google Chrome and Microsoft Edge. So first you will establish what browser you're using. Most people are still using Google Chrome, but if you've now in Windows 11 you started using Edge, then remember you will click on this button over here. Now it's very easy to install. You just click on the button next to the browser that you have. I've got Microsoft Edge, so I'll be clicking on the Microsoft Edge button. Now just also make sure that this icon appears, that this and that it's by Iris Invigilation. If you're going to search in the plugin store, you might get other Iris plugins as well. So you want to ensure that you install the correct one. Now, once you're on the page, it's very easy. You just click on Get. That will ask you to add the extension. You just do that. And then you'll see a pop-up at the top that the extension has been added. You can also click on this icon. It looks like a little puzzle piece next to the search bar that will display all the extensions. And that's all you need to do basically to set this up. So then from here, you can actually go test to make sure how it works by doing one of the mock exams. If I go back here, it's under Iris Invigilation Proctoring. You scroll to the bottom, there's the Open Iris mock exam site. Now, as we mentioned, this is for file upload assessments and MCQ assessments. So make sure that you know which, that you practice both of them. You can also check on your timetable. It will indicate to you whether it's an upload assessment or MCQ. So I'm going to click on Iris for upload assessment. And you'll notice that Iris pops up automatically. So from here, you basically go through the steps of setting it up. You need to do this every time. Firstly, you have to agree to the terms and conditions. You do not need to consent for data usage for research. So you'll see once you click the agree, the button is already blue. You can continue. Now it's going to ask you to select your camera. So your camera will display over here. It will ask you to select your microphone. So remember, you do need a working microphone. I saw somebody earlier with a that says their microphone is faulty currently on the device. Please, in that case, even if you need to borrow a device, use a device that's got a working camera and a microphone. Then you can click on next. You just fill in all your information, your student number, and it will ask you to capture a photo ID. Now, this photo ID, if you don't have your ID document, you can use your driver's license or any photographic identification. So even if you've got a Unisa access card, you can even use that. So I'm going to just click on this button, capture ID card. Oh, sorry. Let me hold it up first to the camera until it's clearly visible. And then I select capture ID card. So you'll see a photo here where you can make out the text and then also the photo identification. From here, you click next. Now, you need to create a 360 view rotation. So obviously, if you've got a laptop, you can just start scan and turn your laptop around the room to capture the whole room. If you've got a desktop where you've got a webcam, you can rotate your webcam around the room to capture it. So all you do is basically select start scan, and then you move your camera around the room. And then once you're done, you just select stop scan. So you see it's very easy and quick to do. Next is the step where they actually give you this pop-up, and this is where you need to share your screen. Now, I want to highlight here, that's why I had to set up my screen now as well. If you've got a dual monitor setup, so if you've got, say, a laptop with a plugged-in monitor, or you've got a desktop with two monitors connected to it, you may only use one monitor. So it will actually, at the beginning, tell you you have to switch off one of the monitors, unplug it, or if you can even on Windows, just select Windows P, and it will bring it up where you can select which of your monitors are going to be functioning. So you're only allowed one monitor. But even though you only got allowed one monitor, you still have to select it. So let's have a look at how that works. If I click on share screen, you'll notice here I can't share. Even though there's just one screen on here, I can't click on the button. You first need to click on the screen. Now it will have this blue border, and now I can click on share. And this will now give me the green tick that my screen is being shared. So from here, I can click next, and now I can start the assessment. So you'll get a notification recording has started. You'll notice it actually tracks your face the whole time. But at this time, what you can do is you can actually minimize this window. So don't close it. Don't click on the X button. Just minimize it. Or you can click on this minimize button. And now I can get back to the myExams portal. So what I'll do here is I'll obviously first download the question paper, go through what questions I must answer. I'll open up Microsoft Word. I'll be writing it out by hand, depending on your preferred method. And then once done, I can actually come now and add a submission. So I'm just going to remove this one quickly that's on there. So you'll get this once you've done, you've completed writing, you saved it as PDF, you come here and add submission. So very easily, I'll click on the add submission, scroll down, just take a few notes. You have to tick this button, you know, that to confirm that it's your own work. I'll have a look at the file size limit. So my file is, must be under 10 megabytes, and I'm only allowed one file. So if I had multiple files, I'll have to combine them. And then also the accepted file type. So in a lot of cases, they will also accept Word documents, but this is where you can just confirm what type of document is allowed. In this case, it's only PDF. So I'll click on add file. Now just notice here, if you accidentally click on one of these on the left-hand side, you want to be on the upload a file link. So always make sure it's upload a file, and then you can actually choose a file from your device. I'm going to open up this sample PDF. I'm going to click on upload this file, and now the file appears within this box. So I can then click save changes. And just as easy as that, this file was submitted. What I will do is, if I'm still within the cutoff period for the exams, I'll just make sure that this is the correct file. So you can open it up just to confirm that is the file that you want to submit. A lot of times in the haste of the exam, you accidentally click on the incorrect file. You know, that's more or less similarly named, say with the module code, and you might be ending up submitting your tutorial letter. So always double check the file that you submitted. So from here, I can go back now to the Invigilator app. I can actually now say I am done. So this is still running. So I click on finish recording. I have to slide this over before I can click on yes. So just make sure, this is just to ensure that you don't accidentally click on finish recording. So I'll slide this over, click on yes, and now it will actually start this upload process. So you'll see here all the log files. It will keep on running until this actually becomes a green tick to indicate that everything has been submitted. So you can just leave this open, let it run through, wait until the green tick, and then here you know it's safe to close it. So now I can close this window. Now before we end with this, I just quickly want to highlight something with MCQs. So MCQs exams, when you, let me just quickly agree to all of this, just to make sure that everything is working. Okay. Next. Okay, start assessment. So you'll see here it works exactly the same for the MCQ mostly. Now the only difference here is when you're gonna attempt a quiz, it's gonna have this quiz password. Now this password will be filled in automatically, so you won't know what this password is. So you don't change anything in here. The box is filled in automatically. All you do at this stage is click on start attempt. And then you continue until you finish, and you'll notice when you actually finish this, the assessment, click on finish attempt, and I submit all and finish. iOS pops up automatically and processes everything. So it's where in the submission you have to finish it to indicate that you finished. With the MCQ, it pops up automatically. You go through the process. It will automatically fill in the password, and you just complete it as you do a normal quiz assessment. Just notice one thing with the assessments for exams, they are sequential. So you have to answer each question before you move to the next one. So please don't go scroll through all the questions and then you realize, wait, I can't go back. You need to answer the question before you go to the next question. Yeah, I'm just quickly gonna share quickly and then just reshare. Okay, so basically, just a quick recap for IRIS. So remember, only the College of Science, Engineering, Technology that uses it. You will never use more than one proctoring tool. So you won't use, for instance, IRIS and Invigilator app. It will only be one of them. This only runs on a laptop or desktop, and it's a Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge extension, and your computer requires a microphone and working camera. So that brings us to the free proctoring tools that's being used within the university. So please go through the sections on the support side, go do the mock exam, and make sure everything is working. Once you know it's working, you know you're good to go for the exams. So lastly, we just want to look at how do you now actually access your exams, especially if this is the first time that you will be writing. So it's very easy. You just go to Unisa. Now remember, you don't need to log into My Modules. It's not My Modules. You will go here to My Exams on the important links. Click on My Exams, and then from here, you select the date you will be writing. Remember, it's only today's date and usually 4 to 5 days in advance that's shown. So if it's not there yet, it will still appear close to the date. But you select the date, so you can even do this 4 days before your exams to make sure you've got access. From here, you scroll down to the module that you will be writing. So let's say we're doing ACC 2601. I click on that. It will open up the login screen exactly like My Modules, where you go through the steps of logging in. Once you're logged in, you'll notice the top button doesn't say My Modules, it says My Exams. And from here, you can actually then select the modules that you've got access to. So the list will be there, and you can actually access those modules and see the assessment where it is, even though you can't start it yet. And I really recommend doing this at least 4 days before. So if you've got any profile errors or anything, you've got time to sort that out. Another thing you'll notice here, it will display your name, but it won't show your profile picture. So don't worry about it. Profile pictures are only for My Modules. This one, you will not have a picture displayed. So remember, it's just the steps. As you go to My Unisa, you click on the My Exams button, and then from there you select the date and the module that you'll be writing, and it will take you directly to the portal. Now, just note, the first time it's going to ask you to log in, and you will have to provide that PIN. So just make sure. That's why I also suggest doing it before the exam, so that you know it's already saved. So next time you can access it a lot easier. And this is more or less what the exam layout will look out like. We've got your My Exams drop down with the module, and then your module that you'll be writing the question paper will usually be at the bottom right. Now, for those of you that might be traveling or you don't always get the messages, I really recommend getting the Microsoft Authenticator app. The Authenticator app is available on Google Play and on Apple Store and all the different devices. And this will just give you that PIN in the future when you need to log in, so you get it a lot quicker. Also, if you've been traveling overseas, this is a good way to ensure that you can still get that PIN messages. Now, I'm going to post in the chat 2 links. Please complete the post assessment. What did we basically the same as the one that we did on the beginning, the pre-assessment. So we can just make sure that you've gained all the knowledge that you need for this examinations. We will also be posting an evaluation form, so please complete that as well while we're doing the Q&A. So I'll be at this moment hand over back to David just to highlight some of the bigger questions or the majority of questions that we received within the chat. Thanks, David.
All right, thanks, Richard, and thanks all the students for staying with us. I know it's been a very intensive hour, so let's quickly have a look at those questions that you guys are asking. I see a lot of questions are still coming up with regards to when is my exam for this module. I think that's very important, guys. You go use the tool. We'll post a link in the chat again. And also make sure, check the May-June exams as well, because you might find your module code is actually sitting under May-June instead of January-February. Because remember, guys, your modules is January-February, and the semester modules will be May-June. So just take note of that as well. I do see questions. Okay, quite a lot of the questions were mostly about that. Unfortunately, doing CSET module, that means you will have to use IRIS. Unfortunately, it's not a matter of you deciding which tool you want to use. The college sets it for you. So that one, guys, you'll have to follow what the tool is. Also, please share the resource, the website. So yes, we will post it in the chat where you can get all the information so that you can start working through it. And understanding exactly which proctoring tool you need to use and which one you must go and practice. So that is really, really good. Let me just look for one more. Let's see if there's something else that maybe we can touch on. Maybe Lindiwe or Nathma, did you maybe see a question that you could really say that this is something you saw quite frequently? Please do jump in. Okay, but mostly it's really students are asking, when is the exam? So yes, colleagues. So just remember the support lines that we've given you as well. And the recording is also on YouTube, so it's there as well. So please go watch it again, go through it, and then you'll be okay. Okay, with regards to payments, okay, yes, you do need to pay. Just remember, guys, if you don't pay, then you basically what will happen is your results will be withheld from you. So yes, that's a question I just saw now popping up, and I see we do get it quite a lot in the emails as well. Okay, I think that's pretty much from my side, Richard, so I can hand back to Dr. Chetty.
Thanks so much, David. I see there's also some subject-related questions. So for those students who are asking specific subject-related questions, I would suggest that the best person to help you there is contact your lecturer. We do not want to give you information that is incorrect. So if it is a subject-related question related to for example, how do you know this is a supplementary exam or first entry exam? Please do contact your lecturer. Drop an email to them so that you also have evidence that you contacted your lecturer as well. So from our side, we wish you all the best. It's a critical part of the year as you start your examinations. We know that you can succeed. We do have faith in you, and we have our trust that you will do well. Especially put up the effort, take the time to study, follow up your exam timetable, just make sure that you don't miss out your examinations, and prepare well in advance. So from the team, myself, I want to thank all our colleagues as well, Richard, David, Natman, and Lindiwe for their time today, and as well as their expertise on the subjects. So we look forward to seeing you all in some of our upcoming training sessions as well. So please do look out for the ADOVH training sessions in the future. I must actually say that we've got some good AI tools coming up as well. So if you're really interested in AI tools and how it can enhance your studying, take note that these are courses that we will develop as well. So from our side, all the best. We wish you well and go out and do well. So God bless to each one of you. Take care, and we will see you in the course of the year and semesters as well. Thanks, colleagues.